Welcome to Porsche Patter with Bracken Helms, the show where we hear Bracken and his distinguished guests from the Porsche community patter on about Porsches and all things automotive. Porsche Patter is sponsored by Circuit 64. Circuit 64 creates authentic automotive apparel made for like-minded automotive enthusiasts. The links for Circuit 64 are in the show notes. Okay, let's get to it.
Stephane Dufour, Part 1. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, maybe I should take that out. That's not very professional. Stephane Dufour, Part 1. In this one, he talks about struggle of being an artist. And a thing that I found kind of interesting is, for the longest time, he didn't even think he was that good. He just enjoyed doing it, which kind of is like real life. It kind of reminds me of my best friend who's worked for many manufacturers, an automotive designer, and he went to automotive design school, industrial design, but he went to a fancy program, and when he got there, he's like, everybody can draw better than me. He was confident in himself because he's super creative and his eye for detail is incredible, but some of these guys where drawing just came so natural. Who knows if they're even still in the art world? I would assume with a fancy degree like that, they would be, but he's done really well for himself. So thinking back to Stephane, there may have been people that were better than him. I don't know. I don't know why he had the impression that he didn't think he was that good at first, but with a little reassurance and he enjoyed what he did, he's made a career. I mean, as he talks about more in this struggle of being an artist, it's difficult to make it in the art world. Like people do it as like a side gig to work full time in the art world and make money and pay your bills and drive a Porsche. Anyway, let's get to it.
It sounds sexy.
Yeah. Very. Okay, here we are with Mr. Stephane Dufour. So, who is Stephane Dufour?
So my name is Stephane. I'm a French artist, specialized in automotive art, mostly sculptures. I was born in France in 1970 in a small town of Bellac, and I moved to USA in 2015.
When did you figure out that you were interested in art?
A long time ago, when I was a kid, I loved drawing on my school books and everywhere. It was like an obsession to draw some doodle everywhere, everything, and especially cars. I don't know why. Maybe because my dad had and my grandfather at this time had a body shop with old cars and all kind of cars, and I loved it. I was surrounded by cars.
When did you know you were good at art?
That's a good question. I never thought I was very good at art. I mean, I've tried to work on my skills. Some friend pushed me to do an art exhibition. I mean, to display my artwork. I was back in, I think, 1989 something. So I displayed my first drawing in I think it was a restaurant in France, and I got my first order. So that was pretty. I was surprised. So I was like, okay, so I guess I'm not that bad. So let's keep doing it. Yeah, I mean, I didn't really want to do something else besides maybe designer, automotive designer, industrial, but I don't know. At this time, I was more interested in the art thing. I mean, the vibes of the art, like working for myself, no boss, going with the flow, And I was very interested in doing that. Like, I was the only one in the family.
Did you go to an art school?
I did in France for 3.5 years. I didn't finish the last year because I was working on my first very big exhibition at this time.
Okay, what art school did you go to?
It's called Art Deco, like art decorative.
Okay.
in Limoges. It's like Beaux-Arts. I think they call it Beaux-Arts right now. I learned photography, pottery, enamels, design, painting, art history. But I was really focused on my cars drawing. Yeah.
Okay. What was your biggest challenge?
To obviously make money with my art. It's really hard. I mean, unless you sign with a gallery, which was not my, which didn't happen when I was 19. I was just starting from scratch. So I was displaying here and there in restaurants, banks, and things like this later on in a gallery in Paris. But the challenge was to make enough money to survive.
Right.
Because making art is fun, but I have to pay the bills.
Right.
Right. So that was the biggest challenge. And it's still very challenging because it's always like sometimes you struggle and sometimes it's better. It's the life of artist. Yeah. But it's still better now.
You're licensed through Porsche with some of your art, right?
Yeah, for the prints, limited prints. I got this license in 2003.
What attracted you to Porsche? Not just like with your art, but in general.
But in general, why do I love Porsche?
Right.
I mean, my first car were Beetles and buses. And it's a family of when you can buy a Porsche, you buy a Beetle. And when you're 18, it's like the perfect car. And to me, it was a perfect car. And then later on, I really wanted to add like 2 cylinders in the back. So I really wanted a Porsche. And I always love this car, like the 917, the 911, the 356, all these cars were like, it was kind of an obsession. They were so different, the sound and everything. And one day I took a seat in one. It was a 911S. It was a Targa 1967, if I remember well. And I got a crash. I had a crash. Boom.
How long would you say you've been doing what you've been doing?
Full time since, the beginning. I would say seriously full time since 1991. You
have preferences for Porsche?
I do have preference for Porsche, but I'm not working on Porsche exclusively.
Right.
I've started my first drawing back in the day were more like American cars, British cars and I work on the reflection of the chromes and the details was very realistic. Nothing like this on the Porsche. So we came later on. I forgot the question.
I was just going to ask like how you got involved with Porsche, but you're involved with all cars. You just have a preference.
Yes, I do. It's just, because these are my favorite. Like if you see my sculptures right now, it's, I would say 70% are Porsche, 70-80% are Porsche, like 917, 911, 56, etc. Yeah. Because just the design of the cars. If you take a 917, it's already a sculpture, right? So
How has the business changed, or how have you as an artist changed or evolved? Well, one thing is you weren't doing sculptures at the first, were you?
No, it was only drawings and paintings. In the mid-90s, I started working with oil on canvases, which I loved. It was very challenging. So I kept working on drawings and paintings. And later on, starting doing sculptures in 2004 because I really wanted to add something to my art and get another skill. I've always been tempted to touch an object, to make an object, like from 2D to 3D. That's it.
I was going to say, what did you do prior to being an artist? But it sounds like you were drawing, you came out of school, then from there you started doing it.
I've never done anything else, to be honest. Maybe I worked in a restaurant for like 2 months when I was younger, so I could buy a car, kind of, and back to art.
What's the best thing you've created? best project?
It's hard to say. I pretty much like all of them. I would say it's the next project.
What do you like about your job?
Well, besides not having a boss, which is very important to me, it's like my passion. So it's even, I don't call it exactly like a job. It's more like my passion. So every day I do what I love. That's it.
What cool cars have you owned?
I own a few cool cars. Like my first cars were Beetle. It was very, very cool. The buses. I love this car. Then I had my first Porsche. It was a 911 Carrera 88. Then I got a Mustang Fastback 66, 928 Porsche, Boxster Cayman, Volvo, which is pretty cool, station wagon, you know. I think it's a cool car. I mean, with a 5-cylinder.
What is your favorite car you've owned?
I think it's a Boxster, to be honest.
Your Boxster's been your favorite car?
Oh, yeah.
The maroon one?
I had it for 4 years, and I loved it. It was my day driver. I went on the road trips. You remove the roof, the top, and you go in the canyon. You drive by night. The handling is fantastic, and I really love the Boxster, which is pretty close to the Cayman that I have right now. But
did you mention you also have the 996 Turbo? I don't know if you mentioned that a minute ago.
I love this car, but I don't know it well yet because I bought it last year. I only drove like 300 miles, but I need to drive it. So right now I'm not gonna say I love it or it's not for me. I don't know exactly. 300 miles is nothing. I need to learn how to drive it, and just a question of time.
Any cars you regret selling?
Well, I guess the Boxster and probably the Fastback too, the 66 Fastback. Yeah.
Okay. And you regret not buying?
Yes. 2.4 S. I bought the Carrera 88 instead. But at this time it was pretty much the same price. Back in late 90s. Because the Carrera is more drivable like every day, you know. Lamborghini Espada. And it was very cheap, and I was like, okay, let's see, maybe later. But in the day, it was like 5,000 euros. I didn't buy it. So I kind of regret, but I would say no regret.
So do you regret not, okay, let me rephrase that. Do you regret not buying and owning and having the 2.4 S, or do you regret buying the Carrera over the 2.4S?
No, I love the Carrera. No, the Carrera was a fantastic car. It's a fantastic car. So I don't regret that. I had a lot of fun with the Carrera.
If you could have any car today, what would it be?
I would say my dream car. Is that your question? Like my dream car?
Yeah.
It would be a 962 LM, which is a street version.
Of the 962?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love this car. It's so unique. So unique.
Over the GT1 second gen?
I think so. Yeah.
I've heard you.
The GT1 would come second.
Okay.
You know, I would have a 2-car garage with a 962 and a GT1. That's it.
What is the next fun car you see yourself owning?
That's a good question. I have no idea. I just, I buy things sometimes very impulsively, like the 996 Turbo last year. So I have no idea. Right now, I'm happy with what I have, so I don't know.
So if you went into a Porsche dealership today and bought a car, which one would you buy?
As a new car?
Yeah.
I don't think I would be very happy with anything they have right now. It's one too big and too fancy, Maybe I would go for a Taycan because it's electric and I think it's a good thing today. Very fast, very nice. The station wagon one.
What is the station wagon one called? Is that the
Gran Turismo?
Yeah.
Something, yeah.
Fastest you've ever driven, where at, why, what car?
Okay, so I remember not in miles per hour, but in kilometers per hour. It was a 928 in France. I drove it 290 miles, 90 kilometers per hour. 290.
Okay.
That car goes very fast.
So we're talking kilometers or miles per hour?
No, kilometers. Yeah, like almost 300 kilometers, which is not exactly 200 miles per hour. Right?
We'll see.
When I said 200, it's maybe 198, but it's really close to 200 miles per hour.
Okay.
Really?
Well, later we'll look it up and see what a 928 S4 will do.
Okay.
But you were going fast. We'll leave it at that.
I was going very fast. It was right before they put all the radars on the road in France. You know, no, you can't do that anymore. Today, you just go to jail.
Yeah.
And they take your car and they take your driver license. But I wanted to try at least once in my life.
Best drive you've ever had?
I think it was my first Porsche, the Carrera 88. When I was in France, I lived in the middle of the country. And I bought the car in Paris. So I had like 5 hours drive or 6 hours drive. And it was to me the best drive ever. It was my first Porsche. I was driving my first Porsche home. And it was fantastic. I loved it. It's still in my mind.
How did you feel when you got your first Porsche?
Well, I just felt like living the dream. Like a kid on Christmas Day.
What was your first ride in a Porsche?
The first ride?
Yeah.
I think I was 18. I just had my driver license. And there were, okay, I can tell now, it's like, it was a long time ago. There were 924 turbo in my dad's garage. My parents were out for the weekend. And so I was with a good friend, my best friend at this time. I was 18. And we just took the car. The keys were on the car. We took the car for a drive, like 20 kilometers. I was 18. It was a 924 turbo.
So that was your first drive. What about, was that the first time?
The first drive in a Porsche.
Yeah.
Right, yes.
Was there one before that where you weren't driving, riding, just like first time you got inside a Porsche? Your first time was driving one? You'd never ridden in one before that?
No.
So your first time was not riding, you were driving.
Riding?
Yeah.
What is the difference between riding?
You could be 5 years old and the neighbor guy takes you for a ride. You're not driving, you're riding in the car. You're experiencing the car, but you're not driving.
No, it was my very first one, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My dad didn't have any Porsche. He was an Alfa Romeo guy and BMW.
Oh, okay.
So we never had any Porsche in the family before I got one, and later on my brother has one too. No. My brother drives a bunch of cars. He restores cars in France. But my dad didn't like Porsche much.
What is your favorite driving route?
The PCH, Big Sur, the road to Monterey, Carmel. So beautiful. And curvy.
Air-cooled versus water-cooled. Where do you stand on that?
I like both, to be honest. I like both. I mean, I've been very happy with my 3.2. Driving a 356 sounds a lot of fun. I really like the old cars, the old air-cooled engines. I have a lot of fun with water-cooled also, so I really like both.
Favorite air-cooled car?
When you ask air-cooled car, you mean Porsche, right?
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could include a Beetle or a Volkswagen.
I would say, well, I don't know actually. I really like. Okay, I would put like 3 cars, like the Beetle, or something like related to the Beetle family. It can be a buggy or whatever, like 4 cylinders, or 356. A 911 RS 92.
964, okay.
Yeah.
Favorite water cooled?
Mine.
But mine, you have 2 different Porsches. So
Yeah.
What's your favorite water-cooled Porsche?
Remember I told you about the Boxster, so I would say the Boxster.
Okay.
I don't know much about the other ones. I never drove a GT3 or GT2 or, but the Boxster was to me not only the best car I ever had, so I would say it's the best. Water cooled.
What model or series would be your favorite Porsche?
I think the 964, 965. I think it's very pure.
965, like a 911 turbo?
Oh, no, I mean, the 965 is a 964 turbo, yes.
You know that they've proven that the 964 turbo isn't really called a 965. There was like a mess up.
Yeah. I don't know that.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah, we're learning something every day now. You're a 964 guy. Okay, what do you like about the air-cooled cars?
What do I like? The sound of the engine. It's magic.
What do you like about water-cooled cars?
It's quiet.
You like that it's quiet, and then you like this. Okay.
Thanks for joining us for today's episode. If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe, comment, like, and share with your friends. Feel free to send questions or suggestions to the email in the description of the show. Special thanks to our sponsor, Circuit 64. Goodbye for now. We hope we can get together again for our next episode. Now get out there and enjoy the cars and the people.